You've gone with a development side. Is that what the Tens is best for?
We've taken a Crusaders team that represent us with pride. It's an opportunity for some of the younger players to express their talents and in a great format. Duke Tens is amazing. I'm fortunate to be in a bit of an ambassador for them and have a bit of fun with the honey badger and got a bit weird there for a while, which is great. Enjoyed it. So hopefully this weekend it continues.
You would describe it as a development side?
No.
I guess, what are you really looking to get out of this tournament? So it's a great opportunity for some sort of young guys and just have a good blowout, good last sort of pre-season hit. So what do you want to get out of this tournament?
We want to get, I think it was last year, I think people looked at the side last year and thought, who were taken, but they all stood up. We got 4 All Blacks out of it. The format and the timing, obviously, would love to have taken a squad with a little bit more depth, but just the way it works, timing of Super Rugby, we've taken a team that we believe is going to show some real promise and some good footy.
Have you done sort of much sort of training? How have you sort of approached your sort of training schedule ahead of this tournament? Have you had much time to have a good sort of run around to do it all?
We'll have a couple of runs over there in Brisbane. We've got some simple structures that worked last year, and it's simplified from the format of playing the 15. So the boys are right onto it, they're clear, ready to go, enthusiastic.
I see sort of Carlos Spencer is going to be turning out for the Blues. Have you sort of packed your boots? Would you like to
personally, look, Uncle Arthur said into the old knees. Look, the arthritis don't let the knees run anymore. But look, we had Andy Ellis going to play for us a couple of weeks ago, but he wasn't able with his Japanese contract, so that was going to be our biggest unveiling for a while to play in the Tens, so it's a shame we couldn't, but we asked around. It was a pretty hard invitation to get used to after last year in the heat. Everyone was sort of thinking, geez, it's going to be a bit of a blowout, but personally, no.
So no invitation extended to you to sort of have a run?
I could have probably selected myself. It might have been a bit weird. The thing is, it wouldn't have lasted too long. Like I said, your knees don't run anymore, so I'm happy to be on the sideline in my singlet.
Are there elements of the game that can be helpful for 15s?
Who's writing your questions for you?
Ross Carl.
Okay. Oh, look, it's footy. It's contact. You're going to be put in situations and that test you. Obviously last year was a couple of injuries, but the whole through Super Rugby, any game of rugby, there could be injuries. So you've got to put it in context. If you look at it that way and put that mindset to it, you're potentially looking at the other side of the game. So look, we're excited. It's footy, and the boys are really prepared well for it. So that's what you do when you play sport.
Would you prefer a game of 15s instead?
Oh, look, it's on the Ducos is on on the schedule, and we're going to play it and we're going to enjoy it. And it was game of 15s. We play on Thursday against the Highlanders in Waimumi, so there's our 15s game.
No Tim Bateman?
No, Tim had a nasty cut in his foot that hasn't healed as well as we'd hoped. Otherwise, he probably would have come away with us and been a big part of the team like he was last year.
Jordan Tafur, is he still coming back from an arm?
Yeah, he's only a week away, so he was close to being able to play. Look, everyone's asked. Everyone wanted to be involved. You got Seta all over me. Look, I want to go and play, but just through return to play protocols with New Zealand Rugby Union and the collective agreement, it makes it tricky for us to play them. And with Geordie's broken arm, he just wasn't quite allowed to play, but we would have taken him.
As a head coach, you must have learned a great deal from last year's tournament.
Yeah.
How to exploit space and the defensive role. Yeah,
look, we had an incredibly young squad last year that, we had no expectations, so it's hard to exceed expectations when you got none. And for us, going to the final was a couple of calls in the final that didn't quite go away. We had the opportunities which we didn't take, and we were pretty proud. And like I said, it gave us a little bit of momentum on different personnel. We still had all our All Blacks back here, 12 All Blacks at that stage back at home. So for us, the exposure was just incredible because a lot of those players took the form into Super Rugby.
Pete Samu's not in the squad. I thought he'd be perfect for this sort of thing.
Look, he is perfect, and again, another person that would have give us the opportunity. But look, he's got a good big game on the Thursday for with their loose forward injuries. Himself and Geordie are really important to us coming to the round one.
So they'll be competing for that spot with Rito being at the number 8
Correct.
spot.
Yeah, well, either can play 6 or 8.
Okay. Just on, there's a big check to win the damn thing, Razor. Do you get much of a whisper in the ear from the chairman saying for the balance sheet?
I think that we were at the final last year. So, look, there is a check, but that's the side note. We'll deal with that one. If we're good enough over the 2 days. Obviously the players will get the share of it, but look, we don't. It's not something that we're driven by. That's great an outcome, but for us as Crusaders, it's a chance to represent and play in front of a great occasion in front of an amazing stadium.
And realistically, you'll probably just get the one full training together for the Tens format just when you're over there. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, that's all right. It's exactly right. Look, we went out to the club rugby grounds, and look, there's got community events as well. I've got more gigs in the Rolling Stones while I'm over there for the 4 days, to tell you that. We can run around, but it's all good. Look, I love it, and it's just a great occasion and exposure to these guys for footy and being professional.
Excitement building. I mean, you're not far away from the old Super Rugby competition starting, so is this going away as a team? Is it feeling sort of a lot closer to the season starting too?
It is. We're 2.5 sort of weeks away from running out on our starter of Super Rugby and against the Chiefs at home. So in the back of mind, you've always got that, and you work back from that round. So all our planning's been with that, and we're playing harder and the Duco Tens, and like I said before, it's a great opportunity for guys to get some game time and show their talent, and what it's like to be professional and proud Crusader.
And George Bridge is captain. He seems pretty shy and quiet at the best of the time. So what's the sort of you've obviously picked him for a reason?
Oh look, Georgie can play. Like he. We've got some really exciting players. We've got a good Fijian influence. We've got some pace to burn, and some young loose forwards and tight forwards that are going to be rolling subs pretty quick. But for someone like George Bridge, he'll just represent by playing well, and he was there last year and was close to being player of the tournament. So he enjoys the format, and it's another opportunity for him to play.
How do you plan to manage the heat over there?
Oh look, the format's changed to play night games, afternoon night games, which is going to be a massive difference from, I think it was close to 50. By the time the sun comes down and later, so early evening, there's a 30-degree difference. So they've managed it themselves with the scheduling, which has been great for us. And also we learnt last time, about getting off feet, the ability to roll subs. Our games are later in the day, which is a great start. We're not kicking off at 11, 12 o'clock, and the sun's right above you. The sun's in behind the stand, so they've managed that well. And we've got ice packs and ice jackets and all the things we normally do.
Just got one more to ask again. What have you learned about Tens rugby tactics from last year to be better this year?
For us, technically, like I said, it's definitely a hybrid. You've got to be able to technically still be able to kick into space and run into space, defensively you still have to be really aggressive. Like a lot of our tries come from turnovers last year, so a lot of the mindset. But the big thing is you can't really complicate it. The boys, you just got to say go out and play. If there's space and it's on one-on-one, you go for it. Look, we learned a lot from watching the games before we played last time, and we'll do the same this time. Like I said, we're later in the day, so we'll be making a lot of it up on the run, to be fair.
Thanks very much.